Okay, and welcome to Learn a Trade. I am Kevin Tate. I'm here today working on a 4-barrel Slurpee. They've been having an issue here with the wild cherry flavor not dispensing. See, it's got no pressure coming out. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to open up this nozzle. Supposedly this faceplate, this whole assembly was replaced, but I'm gonna try and take a look at the nozzle assembly to see if maybe the plunger is not activating fully. I mean, it gets some pressure, pushes out, but then it just stops. So it's been doing this on and off for the past few weeks, he says. So if anything else, I'm gonna probably end up either replacing this nozzle assembly, or I'm gonna start looking up here, because it might be an issue in the manifold itself. This is the manifold for it. So what I'm gonna end up doing is I'll end up replacing the check valves that are on each side. There's a check valve on the water side, which is here. Check valve is right down in here. And check valve for the syrup side on the right, that's right in here. So I'll have to take this whole assembly out in order to get to that. But I'm going to check out the nozzle first. Okay, so I have this barrel. I have both of these barrels in defrost mode, and I just wanted to show you because I think we're running into an issue where I have a bad return temp sensor on this barrel. So the return temp sensor is not reading correctly, so then my inlet side is satisfying too soon. So let me go over to side number 2, and then let's look at, see, the return is at 36, and my inlet is at 35. So right now that's gonna remain in defrost mode, and it's gonna melt down all of the ice, and then it's gonna be able to recycle again and start freezing back down again. But on this first barrel number 1, my return is at 62. Okay, and now my inlet is at 83. But I have to do this a number of times. I have to do this like 4 or 5 times in order to get it to go that high. So that's telling me that my return temp sensor is not reading correctly. Even though it's saying 62, it's not reading correctly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change out the return temp sensor on this side number 1, and then I'm going to run this barrel again in defrost, and then watch it freeze, and then watch it defrost. And I want to see that. I want to make sure that it's going through a full cycle. So this is something that doesn't happen often. It's very odd. So this is just, another one of those things that comes up, and you usually have to go through it a couple of times just to be able to figure it out. See, now my return is at 49 on side number 2. My inlet is at 37, and it's still defrosting. So that's what you want. You want to see these go through a full defrost cycle. and with side number 1, it's not completing a defrost cycle, it's shutting off before that. So right now I'm gonna go ahead and let this barrel finish filling up, and then I'm going to replace this return temp sensor, which is over here. This is the return temp sensor right here, so I'll end up replacing that, and then I'm gonna see how it does with a full defrost cycle. Okay, so I have replaced the return temp sensor on that barrel. As you can see, it's at 64, 65 right now. Again, that inlet temp sensor is right here on this line. I'm gonna retape this. This is the new sensor right here. I'm just gonna let it sit for right now, and let it run through a freeze cycle, and then I'm gonna see it run through a defrost cycle, and I want to make sure that it defrosts completely. So right now I'm gonna go ahead and press run so it'll go ahead and freeze, and then I'm gonna watch my return temp sensor, see how it's going down. So it's going down a lot better right now. Before it wasn't going down as low, as quick. So I'm just gonna go ahead and let that freeze down, and then come back and see. Once this barrel freezes down, I'll go ahead and see if I'll let it defrost, and then I want to make sure that it goes through a full defrost cycle. And a full defrost cycle should take between 10 to 15 minutes on these units. So yeah, and we're well within range. See, like the inlet and the return should be close together. See, the return is 37, the inlet is like 34, 35, and before, my return was between 65 to 70, and the inlet was way down, like around 20, 26, 23, 26. So right now we're within range, so this should be a lot better. And we'll see. I'm gonna let it freeze down, and then we'll see what we get. Okay, so now I have the barrel in freeze mode, and as you can see, the inlet is at 51, and the return is at 44, and it is in thaw mode. So that's when that kind of regulates the barrel from freezing over. So what it was doing was, with this return sensor reading, before it was reading in the 70s. So when it was reading 70, it was telling the machine that it's satisfied. So it never would never go into thaw mode, and then it would continue to freeze. So that's why I ended up having like a big ice block built up on the middle of this barrel, and I had to defrost it like 6 times in order to get that to melt down. So it looks like this return temp sensor was the issue, which is hard to find, because usually when these are in the when these sensors are bad, it will read 97 degrees when it's in freeze mode, and then that way you know that is a bad sensor. But in this case, it was reading 70, 72. So for someone to come in and look at it, it seems like it's okay, but you don't really notice until you spend some time on it and watch it go through cycles. So you do have to spend some time with it to go through cycles. See, now it just came out of thaw mode, went into freeze mode briefly, froze back down to 34 degrees, and now it's back in thaw mode again. So it'll cycle like that until it goes into defrost. On these units, the defrost mode, let me see if I can bring you into defrost mode here. Let's go to see if I can defrost times. Okay, so I'm in defrost times right now. Barrel 1 defrost. So let's see what. So those are set for 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock. So every 4 hours. Every 4 hours, this is supposed to go into defrost. But if every 4 hours, if it's going into defrost and then it's not completing the defrost cycle, that's going to cause the barrel to freeze up in the middle. And then when it freezes up, that ice block blocks the CO2 from coming in. So then it doesn't push out the product. You can see here, the product's pushing out good and it's refilling. So that's a good cycle. And see, right now it's going back into a freeze mode because some new product has just been put in there. So those are our defrost times. Let me go back to service menu and look at the readouts. I just want to study these readouts because I want to make sure that the customer doesn't have a problem down the line with this same issue. Okay, so our inlet's at 49, returns at 24. So now it should freeze down to about 23 to 24 degrees. In between here, once it's satisfied, it'll go into a thaw mode, and then that's what regulates it from icing up. Let's just see. Here we go. So now it went into thaw mode. That's what you want. Now it's gonna thaw to like 30, 33, 34 degrees around there, maybe 40 degrees, and then it'll go back into a thaw freeze mode. We're at 37 now. See, and every time someone dispenses product, the product's coming out and then it's refilling, but if it's not freezing down, the product's not going to come out correctly because the CO2 is blocked. It's blocked by a block of ice inside the barrel. So let's see when this kicks back into freeze mode. Right now we're at 43 degrees. 44. Right at 45 degrees, see? It went back into freeze mode. So that's good. I'm gonna let this cycle a couple of more times, but it looks like we're good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and start putting the panels back on and everything, and then we'll see what it does. Okay, so now I'm testing this unit again just to make sure it's going through a defrost cycle. I put it in the defrost, it froze down fine, it dispensed fine, but now I just want to make sure that it's going through its full defrost cycle. Right now looks like I'm at 55 degrees. It was staying in that run thaw for pretty steady, so that was a good thing. Now it's up to 53. And now it just shut. It just shut down. So right now I'm gonna hit off, run, defrost, run. So now it's gonna go through another defrost cycle, and then once it completes that, it should go into freeze mode. So I hit, to do that, you hit off, defrost, run, and that usually will indicate if there is any issues if it doesn't complete that cycle. So it should run through a defrost cycle quickly. It'll probably get up to 60, 65 maybe, and then it'll cut out of the defrost cycle, and then it'll go into a freeze mode. So we'll see. And at the same time, I'm timing it. So right now it just completed the defrost, and now it should go into the freeze mode. So the barrel stopped. See there, now it started back up, and right now temperature is going down on the return side. My temperature is down to 27, 26. It's climbing down on the inlet side, so I'm feeling pretty confident with this one now, as far as determining the issue and diagnosing it. I do feel that it was a bad return temp sensor that was causing it not to freeze down completely, and then it went into it would go and build up ice over time, and then the ice would block the CO2 from pushing the product out properly. So we should be all set here. I'm gonna go ahead and close this out. I hope this was helpful and informative for you all, and we'll see you at the next call. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your watching, and I appreciate your support. Thank you.